Learning music production can be frustrating because it seems like the more time you put in, the less things make sense. Your music still doesn't sound like the artist you look up to. So today I want to give you the actual truth on how to get better at music production. And I say this because I've now worked with over 900 artists, and I've seen the exact patterns that separate those who level up really fast and those who stay stuck for years. I'm going to be breaking this into 8 principles, and more importantly, what you can do for each one. So tell me if this sounds familiar. You've been producing for a little bit now, and you've watched all the tutorials on YouTube, you know what OTT is, you have all the cool plugins. Yet when you make music, it still sounds like you just discovered the DAW. So you start thinking, maybe I'm not talented, maybe I just don't have it. But here's the problem with that. You're most likely judging yourself on a timeline that you never actually earned. Most people vastly underestimate how long it takes to just get decent at this. Like, imagine you were playing piano, you wouldn't expect to be playing Beethoven in your first year, right? But with production, we do this all the time to ourselves. Your ears need reps. Your skills within the DAW, they need reps. You need to take reps at songwriting and arrangement. So the move here is stop using time spent as your measurement. Instead, track your reps. This would mean finished song or skills acquired. So if you've only finished 5 songs, you're not 1 year into this, you're really only 5 reps into this. And what are 5 reps in anything, right? So instead of looking at this like I'm 1 year into my journey, maybe we say, I'm 5 songs into my journey. Awesome, it's time to get to 50. Have you ever had someone give you feedback and maybe they say the kick stinks or the bass is muddy? Now, when you listen to your song, you know something's not right, but you also don't know why. You would have never known it was the kick and bass. This is normal, and it's not a talent issue. It comes down to your ears. There's no plugin, there's no tutorial that's going to instantly help your ears develop and hear everything. As quick as your taste evolves, your ears are on the opposite side. They develop slowly. And this is where the most frustration sets in. You hear problems in your tracks, but you don't have the sensitivity to be able to identify and fix them. So let's talk about what you can do to improve on this. Your ears will really only improve through repetition, comparison, and finishing. So first, reference constantly. This means drag other songs into your DAW, match their loudness to yours so there's no change in perceived volume, and compare. Study the tone, width, energy. Next, you also want to make sure that you are constantly A/Bing your own decisions in the mix. Every EQ move, every time you use compression, turn that plugin on and off so you can hear the difference. Start to train your ears to hear these small changes. With all the plugin options out there, I'd really recommend learning one. So for example, 1 EQ, 1 compressor, 1 synth. Depth beats all the variety when it comes to training your ears. So this next one might hurt a little bit. You watch a 20-minute tutorial video and you feel productive. You're sitting there, okay, I totally get this, awesome. But here's the truth, you don't really learn production from watching videos on YouTube. You learn it from making music in the DAW. And look, this is coming from someone who's literally making a YouTube video for you to watch right now. YouTube's here to give you ideas, but the DAW is where you're going to hone your skills. And this disconnect is why you can watch a video and fully understand everything, but then when you go into the DAW and try this on your project, it doesn't work or it sounds like shit. You understood it, but you haven't done enough reps to be able to do it yourself. So here's something I would recommend. For every hour of tutorials you watch, you should be spending at least another hour or 2 applying and practicing everything you just learned in that video. And also, don't just copy settings from someone else. Instead, ask, why did these settings work for them in their scenario? What might I have to do to make them work in mine? This is a great example of where you might not fully understand what you just watched if you're not able to understand how to apply it in your own song. And that's not failure. That's just what learning feels like. I'm just gonna say this. If your drums are weak, if your bass is muddy, if your track is not loud, FabFilter is not going to save you. Sorry, FabFilter, I do love you, but I see this all the time. If I just had that 1 EQ, that 1 compressor, that 1 synth, all would be right. But no, it wouldn't. You'll just have fancier tools to make the same mediocre music. The truth is, most producers that think they have a plugin problem usually have something else. It's a fundamentals problem. Things like gain staging, leveling, basic EQ, envelope shaping, choosing the right sounds, leaving space in the arrangement. And I get it, that's not what you want to hear. It's not some secret tip or shiny object. But all that stuff is kind of BS. Those who are advanced are usually just way better at the fundamental things. They're getting more value out of those core concepts than you and I. So my advice to someone who would want to improve as fast as possible: skip the plugin shopping spree and focus on this. Sound selection. Can I choose great sounds, whether it's synths or samples, so I don't need to fix them later? The better your starting point, the better it will be at the end. Next is going to be volume and balance. And the concept here is, can I make my mix sound big and energetic just using the volume faders? Then I would say basic EQ. Try and use the tool to clear space, but not drastically alter or change the tone. So here's a challenge I would issue to any producer. It's kind of a fun one to even just think about. Can you make a song sound great only using stock plugins? Because if you can't, I think that says something about your fundamentals. $200 plugin is not the solution. It's probably just a distraction from what's more important. Most producers gravitate towards the fun stuff. Sound design, building drops, messing with new plugins, making 8-bar loops, and they typically avoid the hard stuff: arrangement, transitions, developing ideas, simplifying your mix, automation, finishing. The problem is the fun parts usually don't grow your skills. It's the uncomfortable ones that do. You improve the fastest when you spend time on the things you are worst at. If arrangement scares you, do more arrangement. If sound design scares you, do more sound design. If mixing or finishing music scares you, do those things. So here's like a practical fix. At least once a week, maybe dedicate an entire session to this. Practicing something that you know is a weak point in your skill set and something that makes you uncomfortable, because the only way you are going to break that and get better at it is by doing it. These types of sessions change producers forever. This next one is probably the harshest on the list, but also the most important. If you only finish 1 or 2 songs a year, you're robbing yourself of the very process that builds real skill. Because only finishing teaches you mix balance, arrangement, transitions, automation, energy control, storytelling, problem solving under pressure, and most importantly, confidence. Everything else, loops, ideas, presets, tutorials, they don't build the complete skill set. Only finishing does. Finishing is the single biggest predictor of whether someone gets good or they stay stuck. So here's a potential fix. Based on your schedule, set a finishing rule. For example, every 30 days, you must finish the idea you started. Now, if you're someone who has more time in the studio, let's say every single day, maybe you choose to do a 7, 10, or 14-day rule where you must finish those ideas in that time frame. Do what works best for you here, but the concept is you're forcing yourself to finish. Next, try and build out arrangement early. Don't sit in an 8-bar loop for 3 hours. Try and block out a full song within that first session, the full writing and arrangement. And it's okay if it's not perfect. It shouldn't be in that first session. It should be pretty rough. And that leads me to the final thing to help you finish more music, and that is accepting average songs, average work. These songs really teach you more than the abandoned ones. They teach you more than the good ones. It's like all the struggles you go through and problems you have to solve to finish these mediocre tracks, those lessons learned are what add up to get you the good song down the road. Finishing is hard, it's uncomfortable, but it's also why it works. It doesn't matter how long you've been at this. Even as your ears develop, you can't see the back of your own head. You can't hear all of your problems. If you're only getting feedback from yourself, you're putting a ceiling on your growth. You will normalize your own bad habits. You think certain flaws are just your style, you miss obvious issues in your mix and arrangement. This is one of the biggest differences I've seen in producers who continue to grow and those who are stagnant. The ones who grow actively seek out feedback and are completely cool being uncomfortable. So if you want to be that kind of producer, here's what I would recommend. First, find a community. Sure, this could be Cosmic, but it could be Discord, anywhere where there are a group of producers who are all consistently finishing music and willing to give feedback feedback to each other. Next, try and find a mentor who's 5 to 10 steps ahead of you. And this is someone who could sit in the DAW, open up your project and say, look, this is why what you did here is wrong, and here is how we could approach it the right way. This level of learning will accelerate your growth 10 times. Finally, I'd recommend collaborating with others. Now, this is in person, this could be done through Zoom, but watching other people work in the DAW is incredible. We all go about this different ways, and you could learn a ton by doing so. And yeah, shameless plug, this is what we do at Cosmic with our students. Screen shares, breakdowns, me and you going through your project, you and Justin going through your brand. Whoever you pick someone. You weren't meant to go through this thing and have to figure out everything alone. This next one can be somewhat of a tough pill to swallow because you have to look yourself in the mirror and be honest. One crazy 12-hour studio session does nothing for you if you disappear for the next 3 weeks after that. Most producers work in bursts. They get motivated, they binge produce for a weekend, they burn out, disappear, feel guilty, and then repeat the process. They're motivated again. And then they wonder why they're not getting better. Well, skill doesn't care about how hyped you were over that weekend. Skill cares about 2 things: frequency and consistency. So here's the move. Aim for small, consistent sessions instead of the marathon one. 45 to 90-minute sessions, 4, 5, 6 days a week will destroy the all-or-nothing producer. Next, give each of these sessions a particular goal. So for example, in this next one, I'm focused on the sound design of my bass group. The next one after that, maybe I'm going to be developing my writing, creating variation to my melodies. And then the next one's going to be focused on mixing the drum group. Another thing I'd suggest is see if you can create a repeatable routine that fits your life. So this might mean working on music before work or after work, after you put the kids to sleep, before you begin gaming. Okay, now that we've laid out these principles to help us accelerate our growth, we're still missing something really important, and that is the step-by-step moves you will need to take in the DAW to get to that next level. So tap the video on screen and let's get into it.